Good morning, YouTubers, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all over the world. Today we're working on the Bowsprit, and last video we were finishing up the yard arms for the forward mast. That's these three here. That's the main mast there in the middle, and then the mezzanine mast and the two gaffs for the mezzanine mast. So the other day I got out the pieces that we need to work on the Bowsprit, and we started assembling that. So this is going to go into that block there on the front of the boat. And we got some shivs in there for ropes to run through. There's a shiv in here, and there's some more smaller shivs up here at the point of the Bowsprit. And to finish this one up, we got some blocks and pulleys to put on. So I've already got some of the dead eyes done that are shown there. So I think there's 5 of them altogether. 2 on the sides and 3 on the bottom. But we got some little blocks and pulleys to put on. Okay, we got 1 there. 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. 1 double block there. And then a couple more of the 342s out here on the end. I think the 281s are those shivs. 417. I might have that one wrong. Yeah. 417 is a double, isn't it? Yeah, a small double. So we got 1 417 there, and 1 342 there. The 331 is a little bigger double than the 417. So after we get those tied on, which I'm getting ready to do next, then we got this yard arm for the Bowsprit ready. We got it tapered down on the ends. We just got to glue on the stiffeners and do all the things like we've been doing on the other yard arms. We might get to that today. I want to finish this up first. Is where it goes. It's down into that, and then these 2 pieces are going to stand up there and frame it. And we still haven't glued this in yet, just because I had to take it out. Good thing I didn't glue it in back when we were building the hull. I had to take it out so I could get the shaping and the angle of that hole correct, because the hole was a straight through hole, and we made it a little bit of an angle in the drill press to account for this angle that this thing is coming in at. And of course we got angle cuts and angle holes into this block, and had to shape it too to fit. That was quite a job. Took me a couple hours to get that right before we glued everything up. The angle is on it and all our shape, because it was just a rectangle with straight corners and everything. So that's the way that's going to go. Just got to finish tying the blocks on it, make up that last yard arm, and we'll be ready to start doing the standing rigging. For this guy and all the other masts. So that's where we're at right now. Of course, the picture on the paper is a true overhead shot with the bowsprit at this angle. That's why it's shorter here than in real life, because it's at an angle when they took that shot and put it on the prints. Because when you do a side view, it's really as long as it shows on the print. So I'm going to get to tying blocks, and then we'll do another update here in a minute. Now, got the bowsprit done, and I'm doing some of these other details before we start on the standing rigging. So that's a laser cut piece of brass. That goes in there on both sides. I got to do the other side yet, but problem here was getting that thing to fit, so I had to use this grinding bit and open that pewter up a little bit on the top and the bottom before I could get that to fit in there. So that took a little while without messing it up. And then I just took a magic marker and touched up with a magic marker where I jumped outside the groove. So let me see if I can spin this thing around real quick. I just dropped my, oh, there it is. I thought I dropped it on the floor, but the reason I'm using gloves on one hand is because I don't want to get any oil from my fingers on these pieces while I'm working with them. So using tweezers on one hand and gloves on the other to handle it. I got a light up here in the ceiling that's just sticking down more than the height of my top of my mast, so I'm having to finagle a little bit to get it to go in there. So you can see this side here, haven't started on it yet. But I'm pretty sure once I go to fit that in there, yeah, see, This side might work, but I doubt it. I had to open that other side up quite a bit. But we'll see here in a minute how to get that in there. So I almost forgot, I wanted to show you the bowsprit installed. And we got all the blocks on there and everything done. And we also got the yard arm done for it. But this is all glued in now. And we got our little stiffener plates glued in there. And we got a nice glob of glue down on that tip of the keel where it comes up. And I think there's enough room for my decoration there that's going to go on that front of the ship. So, and we also got these two things installed. That's for some tie down. So we'll go back here, show you that tie down point. We don't have too much glare. The different things on the bowsprit where we got that installed on there. And I've been looking at this picture a lot, and that one, the one in the book doesn't show but one view. And then here's the yard arm for the bowsprit. We got that ready to go on after we put the sails on there. One thing I noticed this morning, this grate, these come all pre-sewn in the kit. Voila. But then I was looking at this and I said, oh my gosh, look at all them strings on there. There must be 500 strings we got to put on these sails before we're done here. Oh my goodness. Good thing it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just the big ones in the middle. 5 sails we got to do, but that's still a lot. Oh, this one's got them too. So we got a bunch of strings that we need to sew into those sails before we sew the sail on. To the yard arm. You can see the top ones are normally sewed on, but these down here are different. There's only a few strings, so I got to look at that close too, because you know we're getting close to that step pretty soon. Once we get the standing rigging done, we'll be working on those sails. And so I hope I can do this without bumping the camera. Like that. Do a test fit. Keep dropping stuff on the floor. So the far left is fitting in over here, but the middle is close. I think I can get the far left to work like it is. Trying to pull that out a little bit too much. Went in there too much. The middle will fit, but now I got to open up the right here, because that definitely this top corner here is getting stuck. So I'm going to try to move the camera again, and if we can get this out of here. It's not quite a flat surface there, so I'm going to do a little more grinding on this over on the right. View over on the left. Make sure you can see. You see that bit is very aggressive. And I tried a stone kind of bit, and it didn't go in there like I wanted. It wasn't doing any good. This thing's moving some material, so I just gotta be really careful with it. Oh, we'll have to fix that. Man, see how destructive. I got to be at a far over. I got to be over here when I do that. You see there's a little rabbit in there that I'm cutting. Open it up more. The little rabbit was too shallow. Too shallow for that thing to fit in there. So now, where'd my sandpaper go? Before I touch this up with a marker, I need to sand off them burr bumps. A little bit. Man, that looks bad, don't it? Casualty of war. Almost gotta switch to a file here. That's pretty damaged. Paint covers up a multitude of sins. There's the one I'm looking for. Okay. Now, we know it's probably going to fit. Let's see if this big marker, yeah. Boy, it's raining outside right now. Supposedly it's not near us right now, but supposedly there's a hurricane out in the ocean somewhere. I haven't looked at the news, so I don't know. I just heard it. There's a hurricane that's been named. Down in that little crack. Well, we're going to have to touch up that gold a little bit, eh? It's okay. When I go around with the gold, I'm going to have a lot of little places that I want to enhance. We'll make them look better. Let's try this smaller one here. Alright, now let's see. What we got. You almost got to get the right and the left to go up in there first. That dirty rat. It's got enough angle on it. Okay, so there is the, oh, I was going to say there is the left side, but the whole thing just fell. Yeah, get that, go back to the left a little more. This is really awkward. I don't want to bend up my piece too much. Now get the right, there we go. It's close. I think the left's got to go up in there more. Got a feeling. Yeah, the front and the right is good. But the left here, which we thought was going in good, is binding against something back there in the corner. And we bent this, so we'll take our little ball peen hammer. Straighten that back out. And then I'm looking where that thing is binding at. Trying to feel. Yeah, there's a big burr right there that's keeping it from going in. And that big burr was just out of reach of the grinding bit. I should have done this sitting on the bench. Pre-fitted these pieces before I go painting it and all that mess. Wouldn't have been so destructive. The top feels okay, so little magic marker action in there. Try to cover up our boo-boo. We were pretty mean to it. And I will take some black and gold later on and do a little more touch up, but that is at the very end when we're, because we'll be scratching things here and there all over the place. Oh boy, that thing went right in there that time. Look at that. So get this right side. Looks like there's quite a burr sticking out on here, isn't there? See how the grinder went in on these corners, but it didn't do the middle. So I'm going to open that up a little bit in the middle, and then we'll super glue that baby in there. Okay, so we got that all in. And working on this back here. And I want to put this in, but I noticed that it was that light colored basswood behind there, so I had to paint before I can glue that on. I do have it fitted, and I think I'm going to paint it gold too before I glue it in there. And these last ones here are for the lanterns on the back. That'll stick up here from the back end. But so those decorations are underway, and I'm thinking, okay, what can I work on next while that paint's drying? And the book is showing, next to the last page in the book is showing these dead eyes. So It's calling for a 1mm wire to wrap around those dead eyes. This is the bigger dead eyes in the kit that are going to be for that spot. I think the smaller ones will go up on the crow's nest. So I went ahead and did an attempted wrap with this 1mm stuff in this format, and it really didn't look very good, and it didn't fit very good either. So I went to the next smaller wire in the kit, and I think that'll be manageable when we go to install that on here. And we've got to bend a loop in the bottom here that'll accept those little turnbuckles. So that smaller stuff, that'll be doable, and it won't look too blocky, gobby compared to this big stuff. So the next thing I'm trying is I drove these 2 finishing nails in and did a wrap trying to simulate this dimension here for these little turnbuckles. There's one that's 90 degrees from the other one, and then it gets held down by these little plates that you put a nail through into the side of the ship. So here again, I'm doing a first attempt in bending some up around this bigger nail based on the overall dimensions, this lengthwise, that matches the print. And these are going to be too gaudy looking also. I could use a smaller nail, but that makes them even harder to work with. So I got to the same size wire, but I went to a smaller nail. Let me get up in here where you can see. To a smaller nail, and after I get it bent to fit that dimension, I can just cut that spot with the nippers. At the right place. I was thinking about doing the cut down here in the bend, but that might come apart too easy. I can do a cut here that's a little longer than it should be. And then trim it to the right length. You can see that little bit overhang there, but that cut is not, it's too long. And you want to make the cut and then get the bend to line up with that. And I think that will work. You can almost not see the cut. The bend is a lot smaller. and it's using the fatter wire like they call for. So this is going to be, I think, what I'm going to go with, using them two nails as a template. And bend up a bunch of these to that dimension. Yeah, I dropped it again. I bend up a bunch of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 4, 6, 8, 32, 4, 6. I need 36 of them because the other side of the ship is cutaway view, and we're not going to have those little things going down, just the dead eyes going through that board. So we only need 36, is that what I said? So I got to make them up. This smaller ID, this smaller nail. I might even go to another nail size down from that. Trying to get them to be almost as skinny as this bracket. When you wrap it around there, it's bigger because of the thickness of the wire. So I may even go to a smaller nail and try again before I start mass producing these, because I'm going to have to make 36 of them, I think, and I don't want to get started on the wrong foot. So we use the smaller wire to wrap the dead eye and make that tail to hang through the board, and then we'll use the bigger wire to make these turnbuckles. This is 1 millimeter diameter, and I think that's 0.5 millimeters. And there is some even smaller wire than that, but I'm not going to use the real small stuff. So that's the plan now, is to start on this standing rigging. So we got to get all these dead eyes permanently installed on both sides of the ship. And that'll be the beginning of our standing rigging as we get ready to start running lanyards and rat lines and building this rope ladder, and then doing all the other standing rigging that goes with the mast. So that's the plan right now. I'm gonna play with another smaller size nail and see if that'll look better, fit better. If not, then we'll go with the one we got nailed into the bench. So I got that decoration installed in there. Paint finally dried. It's been raining out all morning. Faucet says it's wet out there. But in the meantime, with yet a smaller nail than the first two, we're able to get the size we want. So I got to still continue to finish those. I got 36 to make up, and there's only 2, 4, 6, 8 done, so 28 to go. But Decorations on the back are done except for the lanterns, which is a good progress step. While I had the black paint out, I went ahead and touched up those decorations on the side. And it came out pretty good. I'm going to take some gold paint and paint the outside edge here with gold to frame in that black. I think that'll look good. So for this week, we did make a lot of progress. Next week we'll be working on dead eyes and standing rigging if we can get the rest of those hoops made up. Turnbuckles. One issue I do have is I'm going to run out of nails again. These little nails might work, but I'm going to try. In the meantime, all I have left is these short ones with the bigger head and the fatter diameter. That's really what I need. I may have to order some more if these don't work, because we got a nail on that in 2 places, so going to be 2 nails in each one. I don't think I got enough of them fat ones. You can see here I want a decent sized head. I don't think the head on these is big enough. And they're so thin that they're easy to break. So that's going to be one of my problems going forward, is running out of nails. Again, I still use too many nails. Thanks for watching.